Hello again. Welcome to my Jing assignment presentation. I'm going to depart from my previous tutorials and I'm going to gear the following exercise to the adult student. This exercise still deals with the development of visual literacy and how image and text synthesizes into one format. This lesson will be a small exercise in meta-narrative using visual language. In Wikipedia, meta-narrative is assigned as such. The prefix meta means beyond and is here used to mean about, and narrative is a story constructed in a sequential fashion. So therefore, a meta-narrative is a story about a story and encompassing and explaining other little stories within totalizing schemes. And to summarize, we will use the comic book medium, or aka visual language, to develop a story within a story. So this is a good point to begin the instructions for the assignment. So the first instruction, I want you to begin by picking a movie trailer from the web. Good place to find these things is either the iTunes Store, under the movies bracket, or YouTube. QuickTime trailer website's another good one. Any of these will do something where you can just kind of see the whole movie trailer all in one go without any ads popping up would be preferable. So you'll notice that these trailers are already a form of meta-narrative. It is a highly compressed synopsis of the movie and it explains the narrative through narrative. Our assignment is to further compress this trailer, but yet can create our own narrative from the trailer. So once you find the movie that you want to look at or use, I want you to pick 9 images to screen capture from this trailer. But while you're looking for the images, try and think of a narrative unfolding from one image to the next. What I mean by that is, the first one you pick, how does that connect conceptually, sequentially to the next one? So if you see one talking head of a person and you see another talking head, are you going to go back and forth between these two and create some sort of dialogue? Or is it going to show like this one person in one room and then they're going to go and get in the car and be somewhere else? So try to find some sort of theme throughout the trailer that you could use. I mean, you can literally co-opt their sequence because they'll probably fall into protagonist of the film or the antagonist, and you can probably take those characters and just use the certain storyboarded shots to use it as a jumping off point to create your own narrative. So do this solely from image to image, not the audio or dialogue. Do not listen to the audio or any of the dialogue because that doesn't matter because you're not going to use their dialogue. An important part of capturing will be the aspect ratio, which is essentially the proportion of your frame. We are going to drastically crop the images that we are pulling from. So whereas most these trailers have HD screens, which is a 16:9 aspect ratio, we're going to be cropping that to a 2:3 frame. So that, yeah, and here's an example of it. You can tell right there that it's a vertical frame, and so it's going to be a bit awkward when you're creating these compositions because you might be lopping off certain precious parts of the scene that you want to do. But just know that you don't necessarily have to just get one image from that. You can get 2 images within that frame. So it puts you in not a good place compositionally wise, but in a good place to kind of start realizing how you can kind of have these boxes in sequence tell a story. So this deliberate confinement will free you up in the process of making your meta-narrative. So the third part of your instruction is to, once you capture the 9 images of the 2x3 format, I want you to print out the images onto paper. Or to economize, if you have Photoshop, you can simply align all of them to print on one page. And that's what I do. I'm trying to put these together so that it would all fit on one at 8.5 by 11 copy printer paper. But if you don't have Photoshop, go ahead and just print it on multiple sheets. And in this 4th step, you're going to have to find something where you can underlit the paper. So have some sort of light source. You can literally take the screen from your if you have a laptop screen or you have like a monitor screen, you could use that. But if you have a light box, that would be the most ideal. I don't know how many people have light boxes, but that's a really good tool to use to do some tracing. And that's essentially what we're going to do for this next one. We're going to trace these 9 images and kind of make our own little drawings from that. So it kind of further transforms the original source, and you're making it closer and closer to your own meta-narrative / comic book. So once you have your drawing of each image, you will number each image from 1 to 9. Okay, and how I want you to do this is now first off, you can do this either by chance, by pulling them out, or randomly and then picking which one you want to do, or you can just kind of look at the images and see what makes more sense as far as the images go as telling something sequentially. And so just look at the images and see what links up more so than others. And you'll find that you wish you probably had more than 9 images. And if that's the case, you can go in and you can get, do some screenshots of 2 or 3 more images that you think might make more sense. So this is what I realized when I did this assignment, that I really wish I picked more than 9 images so I can go down to the 9 images. So I have a few to kind of pick from. And so so how we're going to do that is, so we want to divide them up into 3s, because how we're going to do a story is basically have a beginning, middle, and end. So we have 9 images. The 1 through 3 images will be your beginning, 4 to 6 will be your middle, and 7 to 9 will be your end. And so you'll have a really consistent flow on, like, it'll help you kind of break up your story into saying, okay, this is this is that. And so so this will definitely help you in your writing process in the next step. Now we have reached the point of writing. It is not necessary to write for each panel if the image conveys the message succinctly. But if you want to express a sequence of events, that creates a resolution for the viewer or reader in the end. So that's your main goal. There are many ways to do this. The most common is creating a conflict and then finding a resolution for that conflict. But what this does is it gives you an example of how the protagonist is in a good situation in the beginning, a bad situation in the middle, i.e. the conflict, and then in the end, he wins her back. So that's the happy conclusion. So think about this when you're writing this story. Try to create what storytellers and scriptwriters call an arc. That's pretty much it. So this was a small exercise in creating your own meta-narrative comic book, and I hope this benefited you in some way and that it was fun to do. Thank you for watching.